Greetings everybody, just want to give you a quick update about the Fallout series. As you can probably tell by the title, I'm gonna have to cancel the series, but there is gonna be more Fallout stuff, and I kind of want to talk about why I'm canceling this, and I also want to talk about what I'm going to do with this. So first of all, why am I canceling this? Well, the whole reason for me to actually start the series and wanting to play this game is because lately I've been like in this weird, I have this craving for like survival post-apocalyptic games where it's really difficult to survive. Resources are scarce, enemies are difficult, the world is, dead, overrun by everything. And that's kind of what I was going for with this pack. I call it a pack. I don't think Fallout usually calls these things mod packs. It's more like a Minecraft thing, I guess. But you know what I mean. This collection of mods. That's kind of what I tried to go for. And I feel like I was very close to what I wanted, but it wasn't actually really what I wanted. And I didn't realize this until later, because while I was playing the series, I looked more into Fallout modding. That was the first time I looked into Fallout modding at all, right? Oh, there's my phone. Be quiet, phone. And I discovered that there are a couple of pretty big gameplay overhaul mods out there. Things that completely change the way the game works. And after having looked into some of these, I realized that is exactly, or some of them were exactly what I wanted to go for, and it just worked so much better than what I was going for with like all these tiny mods combined, right? So yeah, while I had fun, it wasn't really what I wanted. I still had this like feeling that this doesn't feel right. This isn't quite what I want, etc. That being said, it was a really, really good experience to actually try out mods for Fallout. I haven't really done that before. It's surprisingly different to Skyrim a little bit, even though it's the same engine and the setup is pretty much the same. But I don't know if it's just the mods are different, or because some are not made in a creation kit and just used the Fallout edit, whatever. But yeah, they just feel different than like the Skyrim mods. It was a bit trickier, to be honest, to set these up. Way more conflicts between mods and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was very interesting, and I learned a lot of about a lot of cool new mods. I checked out some other people's videos, etc. But like I said, not quite what I wanted to go for. So I was sick the last week. That's why I haven't done any videos at all. And while I was sick, I was watching a lot of Walking Dead. I finally decided to give that show another try. I only watched the first season, which is only 6 episodes, when it came out, and then I kind of stopped following it. So now I have 6 other seasons to watch. I'm actually at this point in season 6, at the end of season 6. Actually, I just finished it. I just realized that. Okay, yeah, I'm in season 7 now, and I think season 8 comes out in October. But anyway, while I was watching this, I was like, man, this is exactly what I would want in a game. Like the way, I don't know, just the survival and these constantly conflicts they have with like, not just the zombies, but also other people in the world and stuff, right? And having to move from base to base, having to build up a settlement and fortify it and actually defend it. These kind of things is really what I wanted. So, what I mentioned that I learned about some overhaul mods. The 2 big ones that I was looking into, and I felt like these would be pushing me into the right direction, were Frost and Horizon. I mentioned Frost in one of my episodes, actually. I think it was episode 2 or so, maybe. And that one is, just to give a quick overview of what Frost is. That's, by the way, not the one I chose, and I explain later why. It's like, it plays only 5 to 10 years or so after the bombs dropped. So the surface is dangerous. The main story is completely gone, I think. Like, most of the quests are gone. It has its own kind of storyline. A lot of it plays underground in this giant subway system with a town underground, or all this crazy stuff. It's really interesting. Enemies are very difficult as well. They're very much like how I had it, where like, any hit almost can kill you, but you can also kill them in almost any hit. So that was very similar to what I was going for, but way more polished and complex and balanced than I could have done with all these like tiny mods just by myself, right? So I've been messing a lot with that. There's another one called Horizon. Horizon is very different, but also overhauls the game quite a bit. It still has the main quest and all the other quests, they still work. The difficulty there in Horizon comes more from resource management and especially health. The damage isn't as crazy as like in Frost or I had it. It's more like the survival game damage, just a bit adjusted. But it is much, much harder to actually come by, you know, uh, stim packs and right away and all kinds of like medical supplies. And you also have a higher health pool just to like compensate for that. But it's a rough experience. I've been the last 2 weeks, I think, I've been spending over like 40 hours testing both of these mods and other things together, and it's rough, but I like it. And that's not all it changes. It changes so much. The settlement system is completely different. The economy is different. The loot is completely different. Everything, like the entire the entire game is overhauled and very nicely balanced. These are the big ones I tried out. Now, the reason why I went with Horizon is because after watching The Walking Dead, I was like, man, it would be really cool if the entire world was really overrun by zombies, right? Kind of like that. So there's another mod called Zombie Walkers. It does kind of that. It adds a ton of other ghoul spawns. You can rename them to zombies or walkers or what have you. So I'm going to call them zombie probably from now on, or walkers, whatever. And it also lets you replace other spawns with zombies. So for example, you can say every mutant in the game gets replaced by 10 zombies each or something. Instead of a super mutant spawning, you will have 10 zombies suddenly spawning. And it makes the zombies more like the, what's his name? Romero or whatever? I forgot. The old, like Dawn of the Dead and or Living Night of the Dead? I forgot what it's called. The old zombie movies. Where like they're very slow. They don't charge you like the feral ghouls usually do in Fallout. They walk very slowly. They can infect you, which hurts you, and there's lots of different options you can change. And also they can only die via headshots. If you shoot them in the bodies, you can shoot off their arms, their legs, everything. If you don't kill them with a headshot, they'll still keep going, and it's really fun. Like I was messing with that. So I was kind of trying to come up with a combination of the Zombie Walkers mod and either Frost or Horizon. I came up with pretty good setup for both of them. It took a while. There's a bunch of other mods I added, for example, the gas masks mod. So outside is pretty much always radiated. You can change it to only have certain weathers, like only rain, for example, makes it radiated. But you have to wear a gas mask when you're on the surface and switch out filters and that kind of stuff. It's really challenging as well. So there's a few other mods I put into this as well to try out some stuff here and there. So I think though, even though both kind of work for what I wanted, and I feel like the Frost one would work a little bit better with the zombie one, just for the fact that the zombies can kill NPCs. I think they can't kill protected ones though. You can override it if you want, but I left it disabled. So that quests don't hopefully break. I don't know, I tested for a while, did a few quests, and it seemed okay, but who knows. But in Frost there aren't quests, so in Frost it wouldn't really matter, I guess. It's more like an open world sandbox, try to survive thing. But I didn't really want it to be just about survival. I do want to have an ongoing thing. I don't want to be like a permadeath run or something. I want to build up my settlements and defend them against zombies, which also the Zombie Walker mod adds something where if you're in a settlement, there's a chance that suddenly zombies spawn from everywhere and attack it, which is super awesome. So I decided on Horizon. Horizon still gives me the option to do the normal quests and meet other people in the world, get all the settlers over. I think the settlers would still work in Frost. I'm not sure, but just from testing, there's a lot of cons and pros between both of them. None is like super much better than the other one. It's just that for the kinds of mods I wanted to go for and for the kind of game style I want to go for, I chose Horizon with the zombie walkers, the gas masks, and a bunch of other things. And took a while to get this all working. Horizon is unfortunately not as compatible with some mods, but there are a lot of patches as well for most of the mods I had. Some didn't quite work so well, so I had to replace them, or yada yada, that kind of stuff. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. I'm still playing with this. I want to make sure everything works this time. It's 100% the way I want it, so I don't have to like start and cancel or whatever. But it's looking good. I've been spending like 10 hours or so in a playthrough so far. Just, you know, for myself, testing things. And it's very interesting. There's a lot to learn. Things are super different. It's so different. So there's a huge learning curve to learn all these new things, but it's fun. I've been having a ton of fun. So that's probably what I'm going to go for. Horizon with a bunch of other mods to make it into like a zombie survival sort of thing. And yeah, I'm going to actually wait for the next Horizon update, which is supposed to come out very soon. The guy who makes the mod is frequently updating or posting updates about his mod, the things he's currently changing. He kept saying it's going to take anywhere between a week and 3 weeks or so. That was a couple of days ago, so I don't know when it comes out, but I hope it's not too long from now. And I think it makes sense to just wait for the new update, which seems to have a lot of cool new stuff. Otherwise, I might have to restart or something. I don't know if the updates are compatible, but yeah. So I'm probably going to wait for that. I'm still testing, keep testing, lots of testing, make sure everything works, or as much as I can test, because it's, you know, open world, it's a sandbox game. It's hard to test everything, but yeah, it seemed pretty good. Very stable so far. I was still debating what kind of graphical mods I wanted to use. If I want to go with that vibrant overgrown theme, or just vibrant and leave it default, not all overgrown. Or there was one I was testing the most, the Pilgrim ENB. It makes it so everything is very like, it's almost like black and white, but not quite. It still has colors, but it's very like dreadful. I think it's called The Dread of the Commonwealth or something. It's really like more like a spooky, Silent Hill-y horror movie kind of vibe, but it's really cool. I just don't know if it will be good for videos, if they're gonna be like too depressing looking or something. I don't know. It's still something I have to decide. The vibrant stuff looks really nice too. But anyway, it's just stuff I still need to figure out. But yeah, so that's gonna be what it's that's what it's gonna be, I guess, in the end. Horizon with a bunch of extra mods. Pretty sure I'm like 90% sure. Could be higher, but I'm 90% sure that's gonna be that one. I'm just trying to figure out some more conflicts or bugs or whatever I find to figure out and solve them, hopefully fix them. But yeah. So yeah, I think it depends on when Horizon 1.2 comes out, and then I'll start probably recording stuff. Still trying to decide if I want it to be like, I kind of want it to be a bit roleplay like roleplay light, but at the same time I'm not very good at it, and I don't want to worry about these things too much. You know, I just want to play the game, have fun. So I don't know, it might just be just normal casual, and I'll definitely have to focus more on settlements, and I definitely want to focus more on settlements. I always thought that was a cool aspect of the game that, well, the vanilla game didn't do quite well, to be honest, but there's so many amazing mods that turn the settlement stuff into such a good, like, sub-game, I guess, of the game, which is pretty cool. So, and it is 100% necessary for Horizon to have a good settlement or multiple good settlements set up, because there's certain things you can't get otherwise. It's rough. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm doing something wrong or if some of my mods make it more difficult, but oh boy is it rough. Like, even getting food is like, yeah, I haven't been able to produce my own food yet, let's just say that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun but challenging. Alright, this video is probably going to be long. In the background I'll probably put on some annotation anyway on the video, but it's some footage I was recording from my broken previous setup. I accidentally disabled and enabled some mods that don't quite work with that save game we had from the Let's Play, so some things are a little bit weird, but I just wanted to have something play in the background, so I just added that. So that's not the thing in the background, is not the new pack, it's not the old pack, it's kind of like a broken old pack, but yeah, just ignore it, it's just some bonus stuff, nothing else. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to all of this, if you were. And yeah, hopefully we can get this started again soon. I've been having a lot of fun just playing on my own for like the 40 plus hours the last few weeks. And yeah, should be cool. Alright guys, see you then. Bye bye.